Hi YouTube, how are you doing on this second day of this new year? I'm doing okay. I could be a lot better. I'm going to be talking about the dark force and witchcraft today. That's why I've got black on again. I did take a shower and change, but I wanted to show you one of my, I have a lot of black clothes. I just um, spent many of my years out of my dark mood for my kids, but that didn't seem to help with the dark force that comes against them, and that's what I'm going to be talking about with people today. So, um, this is deep, it's heavy, and I know a lot of people are like, don't talk about your private life on the internet, it can be used against you. Listen, there's people that work in the ether that don't even need a telephone or an internet to communicate. This is what I'm dealing with. Nothing anybody can hear and say or do over the internet is going to hold any bearing on my life or the life of my children. Nothing. What I'm battling has nothing to do with the average person. Maybe some of you are like that too, but I have one thing to say and one thing only to say. And first I'm going to say cheers to you first, and then I'm going to hit you with the bomb of the day, my feelings. I'm mourning the death of those that wield the dark force of witchcraft against myself and my family and the people I care about. The death of you that have done those. You think you're, even if my child were to die, do you think I'm never going to have another happy day in my life? I'm never going to another funeral. It doesn't matter who it is. So play your fucking games. Play them. But get ready for the retaliation that's coming your way, because I'm relentless. Get that straight. This is not free, what you're doing. So I have a problem that with people that communicate with people that are my direct enemies and those that have harmed my children. If you're communicating with them, I cannot fully trust you. And it's like there's a saying like, the friend of my enemy is my friend, or not necessarily so. My enemies are my enemies, and my friends are my friends. And you are not a friend of mine if you can communicate and enjoy idle conversation with those that yield the dark force. I cannot trust people like that. You know, right now, one of my kids' life is in jeopardy. I mean, he's lost pints of blood, and this is due to witchcraft. I know it for a fact. I can't prove any of it. It doesn't have to be proven. Like I told Doug, it's not like they're going after somebody else's kids or whatever, not like this, because it's even like my kids themselves. They are not the target. They are not the one that has the strength to go against the dark ball. They don't do anything. Has nothing to do with them. It's somebody like you or I, somebody out here that can actually affect their future that they're trying to control. People like you and I. So, uh, My mind is on retaliation. Not in this life. Maybe. Maybe not. As far as I know, not, you know. But maybe, you know. First off, you'll never get me in the position to feel like I have nothing to lose. I've never had anything to lose. Well, I mean, yeah, I've had my house burnt down. That I'm burned down. That could happen again. You know. Why don't we talk about the person that set it on fire? Somebody I know talks to that person that tried to kill his wife and child. But you don't believe that. Why would we believe anything that's true unless you experience that yourself? You're probably you may not even believe a word I say, and that's fine with me. People, or they don't care. Some people just may not care, you know. But I don't tell people, I don't tell the world like, oh, this person's dangerous or they can do anything they want and walk around this earth like they're normal and they're murderers. Not attempted. I'm talking a murderer that got away with it. And it's like, oh, but we don't believe you. Yeah, he beat up a cop and got away with that too. Gee, how does that happen? Doesn't happen unless you're connected to the darkness. That's how that happens. So I gotta be wise. I had to do some reverse thinking, some reverse engineering on what's being done around me in my life and to my offsprings. I had to do some deep, hard searching and make a decision that could make deeper separations for me. Um, but I'm prepared for that because nothing's going to get me down. I see myself soonly here having bonfires and playing guitar and dancing with people that love me, you know? If you're a friend of mine, you're welcome here anytime, you know, no matter who you are. If you are truly a loving, kind person, you're welcome around me. Now, if you're not, I am in control of my own home and I will take care of that. So if you're welcome or you're not welcome, I'll handle it. That's what's going on around here, you know. In fact, I can make people unwelcome wherever you are. I can set things in your life. Am I going to retaliate? Depends on where we want this to go. Are we going to leave Barb alone or are we going to keep pushing? What are we going to do? Ask yourself what's she going to do? Well, finding out that people are intentionally hurting my kid, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm not going to sit idly by and just let it go. I'll forgive you before I set your lesson in place for you. That's a fact. When I say I love, it's real. Even with my enemies, I used to love you. I hate your fucking guts and want you to drop dead. But I'm not going to do anything to put that into motion. Your suffering needs to be complete before you get out of here. reminds me of the song 10 cc's. It's a song Doug and I agree on. Get this straight. You can't even use him against me. It's called I'm Not in Love. So don't forget it. It's just a silly phase I'm going through. So if I call you, don't make a fuss. Don't tell your friends about the two of us. I'm not in love. No, no, just because. I'll have to add that song. Yeah, that's our theme song. So don't get anything twisted with my soul or my heart or my relationship. Don't think you know something about me or something about Doug or something that isn't what it is, because you don't even have a clue. You do not know what's going on with me. There's only one person besides Doug that fully understands my life. Hopefully, um, maybe a little more understanding. Yeah, it's like I say, yeah, if you're ever in Minnesota, stop on by. you know, you're more than welcome. It's always a cup of coffee. I have alcohol hanging around. Like there's a really couple bottles of some wine that should be phenomenally aged. if that's the appropriate word to use there. And I have some brandy and some other stuff hanging around that hasn't been touched for a long time, you know. But when we say we're not going to do something, there it goes. And the same with, oh, like smoking herb. I went decades off and on. Don't want none. I have shit to do. Same with drinking. I do what I want when I want. You could say, well, that's nice. No, it hasn't always been. Depends on what I got to do what I want. Might be harder than something you're willing to do, you know, to make my world go around. Something small might be make your whole day, and my aspirations might be larger than you could conceive. Who knows? Who knows? Or the other way around, not to sound so arrogant, for the strength that I know that I really am. So, yeah, I'm a little pissed off, a little upset, a little hurt, and I'm not worried because I know, it's like Doug said too, the truth will come out. Yeah, the truth always comes out into the light, no matter what, you know. Do you know Satan hates liars? He's said to have been a liar. Well, there's something that went on that was lack of understanding intentionally because of the way the forces have to work on this planet, and it's part pretense in a sense, except for the reality of the human flesh that people think they can play with and manipulate. And that's where they make their mistake. So I'm already mourning the death of the humanity within these people that are inhumane because of their witchcraft. I've written them off. You don't do that. And if you have young people in your life that are going in that direction, better put a check on it. It's not free. You're condemning them. You don't see what you're going to go through, but they will. And you can stop it all right now by being righteous. There's only one way to do that. It's like my message for one of my sons was straighten up so you can help the other one. I would say that to both of them and their exes, whoever. My ex, do things right or I'm going to retaliate. And it's not going to be in a physical way. And yes, I am above that and beyond that and ahead of that. And you know it. It always works out in my favor, one way or another, with or without my kids. Get that part straight. You can't use my offsprings against me. I told you the depth of the darkness of the things that go on. And I might in a couple days here, you'd understand why I'm upset. You know, it's all orchestrated. I mean, I tried to warn people like the Eastern Star or even my ex-mother-in-law, people that are in cahoots against me personally and my offsprings. Does it matter if they're related to them too? No. They care about their selves, only their selves. They aren't going to care about their own children. Do you think they're going to care about yours or mine? I'm talking about the dark cabal. The ones that did come out of Africa that are considered Caucasians because the light came out of the darkness in more ways than one. I'm certain there's other people living through things like I'm living through. You may not have kids that they're using in this equation, and you might. And I can tell you for a fact that, yeah, we can band together and help put a stop to a lot of what's going on here. And for that, I'm talking to one person in particular that is battling things in one of the oddest ways, for me even, that I've ever witnessed. And it's truly amazing. Here's to you, my friend. Wow. And thank you. You're freaking amazing. There's quite a few of you, but they just, you know what I'm talking about. That's where I can even talk to Doug that people don't understand. There's a relationship and a friendship. It's odd. And I know what he does in this world, but he can't do anything to me like you think he can. It's absolutely the other way around. I know I could put scary visions in people's minds and make it seem real for you. That's not a gift that the dark force has, by the way. But that could be implemented, just the idea with it out in the ether, and other people could pick it up and act on it. That's some hokey shit, ain't it? So I am careful. Better believe it. If I'm coming after you, you're deserving of it. and it won't be nice. And there is absolutely one person. It has nothing to do with me being rejected. You can't reject somebody that doesn't even care like that. Because my heart's always been someplace else, not with a human. So you can't hurt me like that. But I can hurt you like that. Because I always get help in my saddest times. That's my protection. It's real. Some of you have seen it for yourselves. Trying to take my life and it didn't work. You know, those little things that you crafty fuckers seem to do to other people that you think you're getting away with. Well, you're not. So, yeah. Witchcraft is real, whether people think it is or not. You know, this spiritual war that we're having. And it isn't just spiritual on the part of the monsters, they make it physical. Well, you'll be getting yours too. Only it's going to be spectacular from what I understand. So yeah, I'll have my time. Not yet, and that's fine with me. That just, it's like if you give a kid the opportunity, say they don't like candy, but say you give them the opportunity to have a healthy meal or to eat candy, and they choose the candy, you know. Well, you might have a smart kid that's going to choose the healthy food. There are two different types of people. Ones that will pick up that stuff and run with it and think they have some type of power, and others that let that power work for them and know that they'll be okay in the future when other people won't, you know? Intelligence helps on this planet. It really does. So if people are into witchcraft and you think you're accomplishing something or you think that you're powerful in any way, you will find out it's not true. And I know that's coming up sooner than people think. In fact, this year, by springtime, most of you are going to be so afraid in this world, you won't be able to function at all. That's what's coming up for you. And there won't be anything you can do about it. I'd hate to be in your shoes. But those are the shoes these people decided to take Cinderella's shoe. And they knew it didn't fit. They knew it, but they wanted that shoe. What you gonna do with those shoes? I love that song. The Eagles, those shoes. Yeah. Well, I see what everybody's doing with those shoes. Yes, I see you. I see you ahead of time. You can't deceive me like that. I know you think you can, and I know you think you did, but you're going to find out it's not going to work out like you thought it would. and it will backfire. And I do have help. How does it feel to have somebody mourning your death and you're still alive? That must make you the morning star. You must be the star of that shit. You're so heartbroken. you know? Yeah, right. Something seemed off. I heard some stuff and something wasn't sitting right. And I always trust my instincts, and they've never failed me. Yeah. I don't think some people actually use their instincts like they should. I don't think they have to. I think they're being guided by inner um, power that they rely on that I don't want anything to do with. Because to me, that's accepting something from somebody that isn't mine. And it would be like sloppy seconds, like somebody else's something when I got my own, that type of feeling. It's like, I don't need yours. I got my own, you know? But people are settling for these sloppy seconds, and it's like, oh, just like how many of you, if you had gotten like a 2-page report on your ex or your spouse on how they were going to treat you, if you even got one paragraph of what it was like on that last day, would you have went into that relationship? You know, I'm sure plenty of us wouldn't in many situations. Some of us wouldn't have went into the families we were born into if we had a choice. And then some of us know that we were put in just the witchcraftiest spot, the masters of that, to be trained against the minions being used like a bunch of tools. 46 and 2, baby. It's all in the DNA. Nothing you can do about it. It was bound to come out in the wash. So somebody says, baptize me, baby. Okay, I just baptized you. We're jumping into the fire with these clowns, and they aren't gonna like the company. It's called We're Gonna Devour You for fucking with us. That's what that's called. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. For real, everybody. Have the happiest New Year you can. Um, I will talk more on this. I do want to tell you the whole story. And like I said, I don't care who says what out here. And if you think that keeping your private life entirely um, on the down low is best for you, for me, it doesn't matter because it's an open book. I'm transparent for every reason I need to be transparent on all of this. So, yeah, that's why I'm not going to shut up and you won't stop me, no matter how charming you appear to be. I'm not stupid. Appreciate your time. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. 1 second, 1 second. Oh, oops. Okay, one more second. Have a good night or day, wherever you're at.